They can make fun of you though. A little Sebastian Maniscalco on
Maniscalco.
on SNL this weekend.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Are you one of the original guys here?
I am the original New York guy. Yeah, 09. So it started in Boston, and once Dave had like pretty much conquered that city and needed to move on, he said, I'm looking for, at this point it was just writing, no podcast, no videos. So he said, I'm looking for writers in different cities. And that was me. So.
What did you do, like an interview, or he found you?
No,
somewhere?
so I was an accountant, right? I out of school, I'm an accountant. I'm doing like the finance thing. And I started my own website, similar to Barstool, a little bit different, but similar, humor. I did that for fun. Just like I was such a bad accountant, dude. Oh man,
Really?
I was terrible, and it was just like soul sucking. So I was like, let me have something as like a creative outlet. So, and that it just happened to be perfect timing. Like as I started that, he said, I'm looking for new writers. So I sent him, I guess that was like my resume. I just sent him my website and said, take a look.
So did you continue the website while you were working here?
So for 2 years, I did both. I was an accountant and blogging. And nobody in my accounting job knew that I was blogging. No one in the blog world knew that I had a separate job.
Wow.
And that worked out perfect. Because at that point, Barstool wasn't really enough to rely on, and I'm out of college. I'm getting paid well, benefits, all that shit. So I was able to do both and then made the jump fully once it was like established, So I never really had to take like the big full risk, but yeah, it's kind of just like a timing. Like timing's everything, man.
Wow.
And then of course, as he gets going, Tom Brady wins 1 billion Super Bowls. The Red Sox break the curse. Celtics, Boston, everything. So it was just like, I don't know if it could have happened any other way. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how it all lined up.
Are we good? We align very much on something. I was just listening to you on your latest show. The dogs, man. The dogs. The dogs have just taken over our society.
Do you have them?
I have a dog. My kids have a dog at their house. I grew up with a dog. I'm a dog guy, but we've gotten out of control as a people. I know you were talking more about the the responsibility that goes along with it, and I'm with you on that as well. But the dogs in the restaurants and the grocery stores and the planes and the hotels, it's like it's Planet of the Apes, but it's Planet of the Dogs. They've taken over.
They've taken over, and I don't exactly know when that shift occurred. Growing up, the dog was almost like background music.
Mm-hmm.
We had it. It was there. Or I didn't have it. A friend of mine down the street kept his dog in the garage. And this is in Chicago in January.
Cold, yeah.
So, I don't know.
Now it's sleeping in the master bedroom. It's in the kitchen.
Does your dog is it allowed to go on furniture? What's the
wherever he wants?
Really?
Bro. Oh my God. That was almost more of a like I just didn't do a good enough job training, and then I kind of threw my hands up, But yeah, no, it's no bed, but it's on the couch.
Yeah, I try to eliminate that, but it's just hard because the kids, like, oh, come on up here, this, that. So it's causing a lot of stress and angst around the house that I wasn't really prepared for.
And then that defeats the whole purpose. You think it's going to be something that's loving and nice, and now it's stress and angst.
That's what I thought. I thought when you got a dog, it's supposed to calm you down. Oh, come here, I had a rough time or whatever, and I come home and I'm clenching my teeth. It's not something that I'm looking forward to, but
now,
maybe.
Have you found that if you speak this opinion to people who are younger, don't have a wife and kids, are they like appalled with you, and that the people who are in the same boat as you kind of get it?
Yeah, I if you say this to anybody who's a animal lover, they look at you like you're an alien.
They want to throw you in jail.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm some bad person. So I try and keep it. You could tell who's going to give you problems and who's not. So I kind of keep it to people I know have the same feelings I have.
I mean, my boss puts ball gowns on his dog and takes it to like
I
like
don't
it's
know
his
what
date.
he's doing.
He goes to galas with his dog.
Yeah,
takes it on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, I'm not into this. Like just like you bring the dog and all of a sudden we're just supposed to like have it.
Yeah, you're the weird one.
Yeah.
You need to at least say like, I have my dog with me. Give me, you can't just walk in like it's a human.
Yeah, I think you need permission from the person that you're going to.
Absolutely.
To have the dog. If I brought my dog in here, I would have to call you before I go, hey man, I got a dog. You mind? If not,
and I would be like, totally fine. But if you just showed up with a dog.
But what if you said, nah, man, it's all right. We don't really allow pets in the place.
What would you do?
Well, I would never do that. Number one.
Yeah.
But like, if you said that to somebody who really,
oh yeah,
if you said it to Dave, listen, Dave,
it would be, he'd cancel the interview. He'd go on his show and be like, "This person's despicable." Like, I mean, as I'm half joking, but there are times where I'm like, you really like you could harm a human before you could harm a dog in terms of like your reputation. You know,
definitely.
It's a little bit crazy.
There, you can't make fun of dogs.
They can make fun of you though. A little Sebastian Maniscalco on SNL this weekend.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
So he called me Thursday.
Okay, so you knew it was coming?
And he said, we're doing this sketch. And the first thing I thought of is like, are people even going to know who you're doing? Believe me.
You're being humble.
Listen, I have fans. I get it. But I don't think I'm really piped into like mainstream.
Okay.
Like maybe some other comedians. So I go, are they going to know him? And he goes, yeah, we're going to have a good time. Do you want to come in and do a cameo at the end? And I said, unfortunately, I'm doing a show in Palm Springs on Saturday. So then when I saw it, I thought it was great. I really thought he did a great job. And I'm flattered that they even dedicated a whole sketch to me. And yet I haven't hosted Saturday.
Would you have done the cameo if you were around?
I came in. I've been trying to get on Saturday Night Live for a while now.
I feel like that might be the catalyst.
You would think
right?
that would be the appetizer to the entree, but we'll see. I mean,
you got to go do an impression of him.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it back to him. We'll see.
Is SNL something? I mean, obviously everybody wants to do it, but is that a bucket list thing for you, like a real high item?
I mean, like, listen, if I don't do it, I'm not going to cry myself to sleep at night. But I think as a comedian, especially growing up in the 80s, watching, I came into Saturday Night Live with the Eddie Murphy, Joe Piscopo era. Not necessarily the Belushi era. I was a little too young. But I think it's like something you have to do as a comedian, right? It's such a part of our culture when it comes to comedy. I think I would just have a ball doing it. And I have like written down over the years sketch ideas that I would pitch. I don't know if they would take them, but I mean, now that Marcello has done the impersonation, I would love to go on and do something together with him.
Yeah,
I think he's one of the most talented guys.
He's
on
great,
the thing.
man.
He does this immigrant father thing that I think we'd just maybe be the Sebastian Marcello.
That's not a bad idea, man. That's a hit right there. I feel like Sebastian Maniscalco impersonations are, I think, something that a lot of people try to do. Do you think that people get it right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Marcello is doing an exaggerated version of the physicality and what have you. So, yeah, I mean, some are better than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a thing over the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. People have kind of done these impersonations of me, which, I find very flattering. But some of them are like, I don't necessarily like the impersonation of me when it's live, when somebody comes
in front of you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst. That is the worst. That's like someone playing a song for you. Like, hey, let me just play my guitar for you.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do for the next 4 minutes?
I know.
So people will come up to you and be like, I do a great Sebastian. Watch this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or they won't even.
That makes me want to puke.
They don't even lead in with this. They will come up just doing me, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. But
are they doing like your material, or are they doing their own thing in your voice? I don't know what's worse.
They're doing just a I don't know, a fragmented version of what I do. It's like it just it's like is that way it's coming off? There's a lot of like jeez. But yeah, I think Marcello kind of nailed it.
Has that the correct form of that? Was that always like who you were, or has that like kind of been worked into your act the same way you would work a joke in? Like you realized people liked it, so you ramp it up a little bit, or is that the natural for you?
The physical,
the physical and
the
kind of
whole
enunciating thing. And like your thing.
Yeah, I think that is through practicing stand-up comedy over and over and over again and
Right.
getting it to a point where on stage you know what works. The enunciation of particular words and sounds comes through repetition of doing it over and over and again. Some of it just a natural cadence in the way I speak. And then the physicality actually was something that I developed later on in my career, not right off the bat, because when you do stand-up comedy, you're like peeling back the onion of like who you really are as a person. You want to do that on stage. I mean, like when I first got on stage, when I first started doing this, I was extremely angry. No smiling, no nothing. I would come up pissed off. Wasn't like endearing to the crowd.
It's not like fun, right?
No, not fun at all. But after a while, you start to figure it out. You know, like comedy is something that you figure out by doing it. And by repetition. And a lot of times I look now at, what's going on with stand-up, particularly what's going on with the social media and the internet in general. A lot of comedians are now like kind of internet comedians.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not going out to the comedy club 3 or 4 times in one night.
Right.
And working on the craft, which is fine. Maybe comedy and entertainment is taking a complete 180, I mean, Walter Cronkite used to interview the president, right? And now Theo Vaughn is.
Dude, the politics stuff, man, is just, I mean, I'm a broken record. I've said it a million times on the show, but like, I don't know how we ended up here. I don't know how we get out of it, but we got to stop. We got to keep, it's like church and state, comedy and politics. Like you can joke on it. That's fine. But the fact that these people are on the show and like swaying elections is crazy, man.
It's crazy. I mean, actually, I tune into your thing you do with news, and I don't know how this started, but I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago, I started just tuning into your stuff.
Thank you.
Because it was easily digestible and it's like, oh, like I just watched the thing on Jeff Dye that popped up. I'm like, oh, I don't really know anybody that's covering this story, and you're always kind of first on the scene with it. But I think now the way people are absorbing this entertainment and news is, obviously different than we did in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
Totally. First of all, thank you for saying that. But I people will say to me a lot, like, I get my news from you. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing. It's good for business, trust me, thank you. But if I'm your first source,
but like you kind of take us through the history of whatever you're talking about. What happened was
right,
and you get it in like, okay, I understand it, and you know enough of the story to go and tell someone, hey, did you hear about that?
That's exactly it.
And I give like maybe 2 things I remember from what you said.
Thank you, man. That's kind of the whole mission. Yeah. I mean, listen, I've been doing this for so long, and like I've done it all from 3-hour podcasts to 2-minute videos and everything in between. And it does seem that like a quick hitter is what you need, at least for what I'm doing. And there's some things you got to dive into, but
I don't know if you're doing this anymore, and maybe I'm just not seeing it. But when I first started watching it, you would go, yeah, and it was let's say you're talking about a baseball game. Yeah, it was a heavy, it was a big hit. You know what else is a big hit? Musketeer Bar. Are you still weaving in the?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
I'm hoping to weave more of them in. If you are an advertiser, come on my way. Yeah, that's that. I've always kind of prided myself on a good ad segue, to the point that people, I always tell people, sponsors, I'm like, look, they're commenting on it. That's part of the show. Yeah. I always try to find the most like ridiculous way I can tie something back. Like the Holocaust was sad, but you know what's not sad? That's funny though. Thank you, man. It always blows my mind because you know what you just said about the internet comedian is like you don't know because there's no audience. There's no so I can see that the views are doing good. I see there's some feedback, but you don't know who's watching or if they're really watching. Whereas if you're on stage, you know right away that sucked, that hit, or somewhere in between.
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
And it's, obviously I'm a big proponent of the internet. That's where I make my bones, but I can for sure see the difference and the value in live.
Well, no, I'm just talking stand-up in general.
Yeah.
If you want to be a stand-up comedian, you can't just skip the line.
Right.
You got to kind of go and I mean, put the work in. I remember going to Modesto, California, and performing in a boxing ring with a bowling alley behind me, just because they were going to give me 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And, but that built the foundation
Right.
for me to, you know, build upon that experience and then take it to the next show and the next show, and the next show. But a lot of the times I think that, you know, a lot of people are just doing comedy, whatever, from their couch, whatever it might be, a sketch, and which is fine. I mean, King Batch and Adam W, I forget his last name. I don't know if you guys watch those guys. Those guys come up with really, really funny sketches, which I appreciate. But yeah, comedy, I hope comedians keep going to the comedy clubs and working on their sets.
What do you think of, like, my co-host, for example? He's dabbled in stand-up comedy. He's done the blogging and podcasting and all that for many, many years. Bert comes on the show, and he says, you can come open for me. So he's, all of a sudden, he's done stand-up comedy maybe 20 times. He gets an invite to go do an arena. I was like, you can't say no to that. You got to take the opportunity and run with it. But does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me, but like at that, when you tell me he's doing comedy as a hobby,
well, he's trying to get into it. Let's say, he is taking it seriously and wants to like now kind of make that his path. But he's kind of skipping the line, as you said.
Well, I mean, is he good? Is he funny?
I think. That's what I mean, though. Is like, because he's definitely funny because he's been doing this as long as I've been doing this stuff. So he's the concept of like writing jokes and being funny. He's done, but instead of doing it in stand-up form, he's doing it in a written blog or in a quick video or something like that.
So he doesn't do stand-up on. So give me
like within the last year, he started doing stand-up.
Okay, so 1 year he's doing, and now he's going to be.
And he's opening. He went on 6 dates with Bert.
And how was it?
I went. It was pretty good, right? Like,
I mean, the stage presence is like.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Like, I knew he was funny and knows relatable stuff, and so I was like, the material will be good with room to grow. I was nervous for him about the acoustics, the where do you look, how do you walk, where do you move, and he was out there like looked as natural as almost anybody I've seen up there. I would have been, sweating bullets and freaking out, and he was just like he's done it before.
All right. I'm good. I mean, listen, I'm not mad at anybody that's doing stand-up comedy. If you get these opportunities, absolutely, you're going to take them. And this guy's been only doing it for a year, but then you tell me that he's been doing somewhat of comedy writing and what have you.
Yeah.
So good for him. I mean, I didn't get an opportunity a year in to do anything but wait tables.
Put the bowling alley in the back. Yeah. Were they actively bowling while you were going?
Bowling. I do a joke and someone's picking up a spare. So that's always.
I do believe in, like, if you get an opportunity, you got to take it. If you have a big enough audience that you can fill a room, sell tickets, God bless you. But there will come a day where I think doing that set in the bowling alley matters. And if you don't have that, it's hard.
Compare it to the farm system in baseball, right?
Right.
You got to go through the thing before you get to the pros, because you got to learn, the batting, where to hit, and this. It's just you just need a little training.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
That's all
Get
I'm
your
saying.
reps in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had probably the most mortifying injury of my life this week, and I feel like this is something you might appreciate. I'm still dealing with it now. The other day, I finished the workday, and I can't walk. I feel like I was playing basketball and rolled my ankle like it exploded. It's killing me to even take a step. But I didn't do anything. I wasn't working out. I wasn't playing sports. Nothing happened. So I start Googling all my symptoms, whatever, and I find it exactly. And it's my peroneal nerve is pinched in my knee.
Peroneal nerve?
Peroneal nerve, yeah. And I'm reading like the causes, and it's like prolonged sitting with your legs crossed can cause it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I got one of my most painful injuries from sitting.
Yeah.
And not just sitting like this. I'm just like, oh, it feels bad getting old, dude. And I've had a million injuries before this, but one of the most painful things I've gone through is sitting with my legs crossed.
It's amazing what will happen just on doing everyday activity.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up, put my feet on the ground, and my bottom of my foot hurt. And I'm like, where's this coming from? I think, this is self-diagnosed. This has nothing to do with the podiatrist or anything else. I think I have plantar fasciitis. Have you? Well, how old are you? What are you, 32?
40.
Oh, you're 40?
I'm 40.
Oh, man.
I'm about to be 40, 41 in
Wow.
March. Thank you.
No, look, I don't know. Barstool's keeping you young.
Well, actually, that's funny you said that because I just shaved for the first time in like 15 years. I didn't have a big beard, but I always had some scruff, kind of covering my double chin. But that turned into red, brown, and gray, just like all over.
Oh, yeah, like a spotty vibe.
Yeah, and everyone was like, as soon as I shaved, everyone was like, oh, you look, 15 years younger. I was like, should have done this 5 years ago.
So you're going to continue shaving?
I think so.
I think when your beard becomes like tri-colored,
not good.
It's not a good.
Like these patches of gray right here, no good.
Yeah, some guys grow a really nice beard, and if I had that ability, I think I might try it. But I never really got into the whole facial hair vibe.
I know a guy's got like head hair on his face. It's like nice. It's like it just keeps going.
Oh wow!
If I could do something like that, I'd probably be a beard guy. But with the shit,
maybe it is. Maybe it is. You shave the beard, and you have like a younger vibe to you.
Could be.
Could be.
But anyway.
How old are you, guy? 21?
26.
26, all right.
I might as well be. Might as well be 21. Well, the thing at Barstool is like there are guys my age who I think are still kids because they don't have kids. They're not married. They're you could be 60, but if you're just a bachelor, in my mind, you're like 20. Like you're not acting like you're older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just did a competition here. We called it the Unk Olympics. All the unks of Barstool. And there was one guy who was my age, and they tried to put him in. And I was like, this guy is partying in the club in Miami. He's not an unk. You don't get to be a part of this. You got to be, and vice versa. You could be, 25, but if you got 3 kids or something, we're in the same boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on out there.
What would be a good series is Sebastian just like walks around the office and is just like, tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, just like interview. I mean, but no one even looks up. It's like, we're walking through. You think like give a glance and go, oh, okay, so-and-so's in the, nothing. They like in the computer.
They do work. I'll say that. Like everyone expects to come in here, like we play beer pong and it's like a literal frat house. And there are people head down, computers open, headphones on. Again, I don't know what they're doing. I know what these guys do. They work for me. They make my show. The rest of them, I don't fucking know.
But is there a general like supervisor that walks around here?
Not walks around. There's not like a daily.
Like if something happened, right? Is there like, oh, we should ask the boss like that's running this thing?
Depends on how important the question is. How important the problem is. If it's a big, serious problem, it's
Okay, so like one guy, Rico Bosco is his name. He's out of his mind, and he got a couple guys that he butts heads with, and they were talking some shit, and he took a full closed high noon can and whipped it at this guy. I mean, boom, right by him. If it hits you in the face, we're talking like brain damage. He threw it. That became an HR issue. That went up to Dave. There was some discussions. I think a suspension was involved. Then there was another example of a guy who just like shoved somebody. They were on camera arguing and you shoved him. That we let go. So it's like a case by case. And
yeah, but is there like when somebody throws a can at somebody, does someone go, get Frank in here? Or do
not
we
in the moment, no. Yeah, in the actual moment, it could become like a prison riot. It could be a.
So there's no warden, like literally.
Yeah, it would take like 72 hours for someone to figure it out. Yeah, there's no warden. There is no warden.
Like who makes sure that people show up? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that definitely doesn't happen. Oh. There are people who just collect. There are people who actually do not come to work, and it is known they don't come to work, and they just keep getting paychecks. Then there are people who don't come, and it's just kind of like on the sly, on the low. They keep getting paychecks. It's borderline impossible to get fired from Barstool Sports. Like once you're in, you might not get raises and bonuses and promotions, but Dave will generally just be like, whatever, you're in. It's madness. It's
unbelievable.
It's madness, dude. Like if we were to look at like payroll and just like profit loss, a lot of people would be out of a job. I mean, it's crazy. But you kind of also need like for what we did here, not maybe as much anymore, but 5-10 years ago. You need like the fun house. You need it to be a circus.
No, I get it.
And you know, not every clown's gonna be that profitable.
That's amazing, man. That's unbelievable. Like, I'm at my house looking at the gardener going, why is he watching the guy sprinkle the lawn? You know, like I'm like dialed in to everything happening around me.
I'm going through a renovation right now.
Oh God, I feel sorry for you, bro.
It's like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's crazy. I hired this guy. He was supposed to be, he told me a 6-month project. So I said, that means 9, and I'm okay with that. I'm on 17 months.
Well,
Not even close. And so I finally fire the guy, and I bring in a new guy. And he's like, not only was this guy taking so long, but all this is wrong, that's wrong. And he should go to jail. This man should be blasted into the sun.
Well, where do you find a guy like that? Like, is that a recommendation?
Yeah. And that's, but here's the thing. So, this was the first time I was doing it. Learned many, many lessons. But, you know, when someone tells you, they showed me his work. He showed me a booklet of all the things he's done, where he works. I just trusted that the guy said he could do the job. He could do the job. Mm-hmm. And he just clearly, I don't know, lied to me or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Wait. How do you prove? Can you get trust that someone is actually going to do it?
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. I think, you know, contracting is one of these things that no one really knows what's going on. I mean, like, for a everyday person working, I don't know, like, what takes, you know, like, they're like, give me a budget. I go, I don't even know what, like, it costs to begin with. I don't even know what the wood costs.
How much does the wood cost? Yeah, how much does the wood cost? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It's contracting, it's the mechanic, and the vet. Those guys can charge you whatever the fuck they want. And you got to either take it or walk out. But you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's a headache. And you're 15 months in. That's a year more than you even expected.
I had God plans. I had, we'll do the holidays here. We'll do this. We'll do that. I'm living in one room. It's all, oh my God, it's fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Those people, they got a great thing going, the whole industry. I said, can you just send me like a schedule? This will be done by this date. And I said, if you do it ahead of time, I'll give you a bonus. And if you miss it, there's going to be a penalty. And he was like, no, we can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, why not? And he basically was like, because I don't want to. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, okay. I guess we'll just keep doing it your way. Also known as not doing the fucking job.
I don't know. Like, I feel like technology hasn't kept up with that profession. Like, AI is taking all these jobs. Why hasn't AI figured out a way to fix the building process of a home? Or
let's do that. We can make, 50 Cent makes a song from the 1950s, but we can't just fix the renovation business.
No.
We're using it in the wrong way. I got cats like shooting guns on. I just want you to fix the house, man.
I know, man. It's brutal.
What I'd imagine you have some thoughts on AI. I could see that being something that bothers you.
It actually doesn't bother me as much as I thought. I've really adapted AI to be a part of my kind of everyday life.
You're using AI.
I am using AI.
In what ways?
Well, here for the contracting, putting in, sometimes to give a interior designer kind of what you want the place to look like. Mm-hmm. You normally give them inspirations. Oh, I like this living room, this look, this. With AI, you could kind of put all your inspiration into the program and have kind of it spit out what you want your actually living room to look like. So before we had to do it with, photos that were kind of pieced together. Now you're able to kind of do a cumulative experience of all the stuff that you like into one. I also use it for cleaning up my emails as far as, texts and emails, especially in a business setting, because sometimes my emails sound like rocky.
So you write it and then put it in.
I write it and I'll tell it to do, like clean up the grammar, make this a little bit more business, and people on the other end obviously know that it's not my voice. Right. But it doesn't really need to be because I'm just trying to give out information.
Right. Just get to the point.
So yeah, I find it that also here, you get an invoice from a contractor, right? Mm-hmm. I just did this with an electrician invoice I got. All the stuff he did, I'm like, that's kind of high. Put it in the AI. It scans it, and it comes back with questions to ask. This seems high. I mean, I feel like we have a tool, if you know how to use it, that could be a great advantage.
I'm with you on that, man. The people, like, I get if you're worried that, like, art and culture as we know it is going to cease to exist, but you can also utilize it. It's like not using a calculator when those were invented because you're like, no, it's going to take over the world. Like, just use it, you know?
Listen, the technology is going to come whether we like it or not. I mean, we went from, riding horseback to vehicles, right? And I understand that there's going to be some casualties along the way. People are going to lose their job. However, there also is going to be opportunity, I think, for maybe newer jobs,
right,
or ways that you could speed up what you're doing in any aspect of your life, whether it be, I've used it even for comedy purposes. Like I've been working on a bit, and I throw in the bit and ask it to do something, and it'll come back. And not that it's funny, but it gives me like a morsel of an idea that I could go back and
a little inspiration.
Yeah. So I think it's a great tool.
I mean, the people who act like tomorrow is like the sun's not going to come up. It's like half the time it's wrong. Half the time I say that's incorrect, and they go, "You're right, that is incorrect."
Yeah.
What am I even fucking doing here? Are you still? You were in The Irishman, right? That was a big one. Are you? Was that just like? Are you going the acting route, or was that just kind of like a toss in the comedy career?
There was a point where I was doing, kind of back-to-back films. I did that one while I was doing this movie called The Green Book, and then subsequently started doing this show called Bookie, which is canceled. I don't particularly love the process of filmmaking. I think it's kind of laborious and kind of boring. So it's not something that I'm actively pursuing. Anything around live entertainment, though, I am really, really thirsty for. I love performance. I love doing podcasting in the sense that I use podcasting as a way to tell stories that I could possibly use those stories on stage. We have a podcast called The Pete and Sebastian Show, not guest-driven whatsoever. It's just Pete and I kind of making each other laugh. And a lot of times there's some really good morsels of humor that come out of that going, wow, I want to explore that more on stage. So, yeah, anything live, definitely involved with. And then I'm doing some things that I have some downtime coming up in 2026 that I'm developing for live that I can't really get into now, but it having to do with live entertainment.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about you were on that Bieber stream the other day? Was that you? That wasn't AI. That was the real Sebastian.
No, you would have thought it was.
I was like
a robot.
I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes. I would have thought that's one of the last things you would do.
So this is my take. I guess he had called and said, he was a fan and wanted to invite me down to carve pumpkins on Halloween on a stream, right? So I'm like, all right, I like Bieber. I've been to his concerts, and it was totally out of the box for me. I'm 52, he's 31, obviously a completely different generation. But I'm like, you know what? Let me challenge myself and go on this thing and put myself in a situation that I'm uncomfortable. Because I mean, listen, I'm going to his. Basically, he has a hangar, and it's like a playground. He's got a ball pit. He's got a basketball court. He's got a massage table. He's got a recording studio.
It's a fantasy factory.
Yeah. I mean, the next thing you know, I'm diving into the ball pit with Bieber. So I spent 3 hours there. It was fun. I had a good time. He's a nice guy. I mean, nothing but very gracious. I mean, the kid's been in the business since he was 15 years old.
He was like born, man.
Yeah. So it was something. And this like live streaming, I had no experience with whatsoever.
That's a whole other animal, man. That's the next wave.
Apparently so. I mean, but like, and I'm thinking, who is on the other end? Watching
for
this
hours and hours, like they'll stream for like 12 hours straight.
Yeah, so I don't know. I give a video to my social media team to post. They're like, it's too long. Could you? I go, too long. There's people watching 3 hours of Bieber in a ball pit.
Have you seen the girl who's been streaming for 4 years?
No.
has not turned off the computer for like sleeps, eats, lives 4 straight years.
And people are watching?
I don't think they did until recently. Another big streamer, Kai Cenat, like found her and like put her on and was like, guys, this girl's been streaming for like 3.5 years straight. And then since then she's done another year. So I'd imagine after the shout out, she's had a lot of viewers. But for the most part, just blasted it into the void like nobody. I mean, you got to be sick.
I don't know.
You got to be sick.
I don't know. Maybe the next time I come in here, you're going to go, hey, listen, everybody, we've been doing this for 3.5 days.
We have started to do some here, 12 hours. And it's more like an event. Like there's going to be a marathon, not just like an everyday thing, you know? But I thought about dabbling in it, and then I decided, no. You got to stop somewhere, you know? Your age, your energy, your what you like. It like at some point it's got to stop. I can't have another app. I can't have another. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I mean, listen. Even with entertainment, like I do stand up comedy, but then you look at the landscape of stand up comedy and what other comedians are doing, and you go home and you're like, should I have my own sock line? Like. Or
I gotta make food and drinks. I gotta become.
Should I have meatballs in a can? I mean, like
honestly, Maniscalco meatballs. Write that one down. That's a good idea.
But how much you gonna do? You know, it's like it's not just good enough to do the thing that you're good at.
That's what I hate. It is, but people don't. The people don't feel that way. I don't think the fans make you feel that way. It's just more. What's next?
I
don't
know about that, man. I just rather kind of stay in my lane. Opportunities come up, yeah, you want to explore them, but like I'm not actively going out there going, you know, man, I gotta have my own line of aprons. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Well, one opportunity that this had to have been bad information. Because I was told that you or maybe someone from your team expressed interest in doing Barstool Survivor. I can't imagine that's true, is it?
That didn't come from me.
This is your worst
I don't even know what that is.
Nightmare. So we just basically stole the idea of Survivor, and we do it in the office. So the first couple seasons were here. The last one we did in our Chicago headquarters. We lock everybody in the office for like a week. And you compete in like the challenges and the puzzles, and then you do the vote off and all that shit. But we do it big. It's a $250,000 prize, and everybody. The thing is, everybody comes in. You know, in Survivor, you're a bunch of strangers. You do it, and then you go your separate ways. This is all coworkers. So you have your friends and your enemies. You go to work. You do the thing. You backstab. You kill. You lie, and then it's over, and you just go back to working together.
Oh
and it is. I mean, it's an absolute disaster. And so we were thinking about trying to do a season where we invited people from outside Barstool, and somebody was like, Sebastian Maniscalco wants to do it. And I was like, there was no shot. That's true.
Did you say that?
No shot. I was like, do you guys know? You must be mixing up, you know, another Italian comedian or something. Like, no. How much money would the prize have to be for you to do that?
It's not even the money. It's just like at this point in I have a family. All right, and I can't go away for a week and hang out with the guy that's. I mean, this is not even in my.
It's not even like.
Yeah, it's not even like. Would you sleep here? Was some guy sleeping on the couch?
They set up like a little bunk. People were sleeping on the couch, showering here.
I did that. This was college.
It's college.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that already.
Well, and that part of it kind of was fun, where I was like, oh, this is like hanging out with the boys. Like, you know.
You were doing this?
I did it. So I hosted it the first couple seasons, and then I did it 2 seasons ago. Almost won, too. I was right there, man. I was right there. Will Compton, former NFL player, busted with the boys. He just stabbed me right in the back, man. I think about it every night. I'm like, how did I not see that coming? So that part is fun, but sometimes I'm like, as I was sitting there, I was like, I'm not a man. I'm not a real man. I'm not an adult. What is this?
You're a father, right?
I was calling my kids every night. Like, hey, you know, Daddy's still. Like, I didn't think I was going to even make it through the first elimination. I kept going. I made it almost to like the very end. So I was like, Daddy's still here. Like, when are you coming home? I was like, I got to go play cornhole with a, camera on my head. They're like, okay, Dad, see you later.
Yeah, I would have a fear of doing that and calling my kids, and that being the moment my kid decided that they were going to run away. You know what I'm saying? It all happened when you started doing that Survivor series that we felt you didn't care about us.
I'll tell you the worst part. There was this game where you had to like throw bean bags onto like a pedestal. There was like 3 levels. You had to throw them up and make it land. And I hit like the winning shot, and everybody went crazy, and it was a big deal in the moment. And I was like, "Yo, kids, like this episode is my episode. I'm the hero." Blah blah blah. Like, and I sat them down, and the way they edited it, it was like 1 second, nobody cared, and they were like, "That's it." And I was like, "Yeah, that was." I thought that was gonna be like the biggest moment of our. I thought you were gonna be proud of me. I thought you were gonna love that, kids.
How old are they? And
10 and 8.
Oh, okay. So are they fans of like what you're doing?
They don't quite like. I don't show them, the stuff I do. They kind of know that I have a unique job. I took them to a Knicks game once, and people asked for pictures here and there. But for whatever reason, it was like a 60-second period where I was like a Kardashian. I was like, "Here, picture," and they were like, "What the fuck was that?" Those moments. I'm always just like, "Yeah, Dad does something weird for work," but I don't know. We'll find out.
Can you imagine? When you were growing up, if your father said, "Son, come here, I want to show you something," and he was tossing beanbags on his show,
and proud of it, I was like, "Guys, this is my moment." No, I could not imagine that at all. I could not imagine that, man. Well, these are the times we live in. These are the times we live in, Sebastian.
Oh God!
All right, man. I think they got you doing some food stuff next, so we're gonna wrap it up. But so you got the new special, right? The new special is dropping. Well, by the time this goes out, the new special will be out now. It Ain't Right on Hulu. I'm assuming just more of the same. You always knock it out of the park with your specials.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your audience with me and having me into the Barstool family.
You got it, man. Anytime.
I will not do Survivor, but I will definitely come back on your show.
We'll work on that. Maybe one day. Thank you, man.
You got it.